Do you see anything?
Not yet. Well, I'm waiting for the watch live video box to turn something besides gray. There it is. Okay, yep, I see us. Huge delay. See
I'll
anything
start
yet?
the music,
Not well.
though.
Okay, good.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Dungeon Masters Dojo podcast. This is a show for game masters and players alike. We hope to bring you tips and tricks to elevate your game and develop the art of dungeon mastery. I'm your host, Louis Aponte, and these are your Dungeon Masters, Scott Labby and Bill Robotile. Let's enter the dojo and see what they have in store for us today. And we're live. Hopefully.
Finally.
Had some technical difficulties.
We're only a little bit late. It's not bad.
Oh, you showed up late.
Showed up precisely when I intended to.
Late. Along with my technical difficulties.
We've only done Facebook Live, one other time?
Yep.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out.
We all by ourselves?
At the moment, there's nothing on the chat. So I'm guessing yes.
Oh, it says 4 current viewers.
There we go. Michael Mahaney. Hey, sup? Hi, Mike.
So why don't we get this kicked off with our beautiful unboxing?
Yeah, let's unbox something.
We'll unbox this.
That sounds good.
Let's open
What's
it up.
in it?
You got to move the glasses. They're in front.
I can't see. Oh.
We're over accessorized here.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's not Spelljammer, though.
It's not Spelljammer, but it is refreshments.
I don't even know what it is, but it's something in a box.
A heavy box.
It's a tiny samurai.
We're going to let Bill open this one.
Ooh. We're going to open it now. Or we're going to wait till later.
Oh, we can open it now.
Okay.
We need to get started.
Can we swear on Facebook Live?
I don't see why not.
I think we still have our explicit rating, don't
Yep.
we?
So I can say like fuck and shit. And
Yep. So I'm going to take this box out so we can get the real unboxing out.
Started. Well, you start on the real unboxing, and I'll start on the first unboxing. How's that?
Yep. Scott, you want to bring up the other 2 boxes?
yeah, I'm going to wait for Bill to take the head off the samurai and to hand him his box.
I will say this is a nice looking box, though.
It is a nice looking box. It doesn't have samurai armor, but I'll take it.
It has Minsk and Boo on it.
I'm glad to see that they're still together. You know, when I stopped seeing Simon Pegg and Nick Frost make movies, I found it upsetting. Just like Abbott and Costello and, you know, hopefully The Rock and,
The short guy.
yeah,
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. I know it was a Kevin. I was Kevin
Short
James?
guy.
No, that's not him. Continue to work together
glasses.
as a,
Yes. If
as
you can
a
reach
duo.
them. Hi, Larry.
One.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Larry. Good,
Two.
good to, I guess, see your presence
Virtually.
virtually.
We will apologize again for starting a few minutes late. We are not practiced at this particular type of thing.
No.
Yeah, we're not. Well, I don't know anything about the Facey time or anything like that.
But our first unboxing was the Yamato Japanese Whiskey, Mizunura Japanese Oak Cast, the Takeda Shingen Edition.
Joseph, how you doing, buddy? Welcome
Hey,
back.
Joe.
Good to see you again, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Lou's Japanese is spot on.
As far as
impressive.
we know,
Yeah.
someone's out there going, "Oh, did he destroy that?"
We never tried this one. This
No,
is my
yeah.
first time, so
Here we go.
let's go. I like the smell of it.
This is dangerously good. That's going to be a problem. Yeah.
I am gonna get shut off again.
Yeah, that's tasty.
It is quite tasty.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth and mellow.
Yep. I feel like it'd be good over ice, but it's fine, neat as well.
That's good. So I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
enjoy
It's not a race. Lewis.
Oh,
May
Yep.
I? Ooh, whoa! This thing's got some heft to it.
It does. There's rocks in it. That's why.
Every Halloween, all I ever get is rocks.
So it is. It's a nice heavy. Well, before we do this, nobody's following the Lewis.
what?
Nobody's. But we have an outline. We're going to.
Oh, we have an outline?
Yeah, the one that I showed you both the other day.
I forgot.
I'm looking at us, with the 10-second delay, so it's confusing the crap out of me.
Yeah. So as you have suspected, we're doing an unboxing of the Spelljammer Adventures in Space set, the newest installment for D&D 5e. Also, we have some announcements. We'll do our unboxing and give some opinions. And can you wait a minute, Lou? It's like
Christmas.
having 6-year-olds on
How
Christmas
come you don't say
morning.
nothing to him?
And because he's deaf, he's not going to hear. what
You're
I say.
scared.
What?
And then, all right, let's just open the fucking thing.
Just at least we should at least take the plastic off.
We'll open it. And after we're
Hey, there's a format.
done,
Why don't you say so?
we'll can you hand me the pencil? I can't get the. I'm not going to chew on this on like Facebook Live.
I didn't use the pencil.
I don't have the angry glare to scare the plastic off it like you do.
Give it a couple decades, you'll get there.
So you get a box, which I guess this technically is a box set, right?
It's kind of important for unboxings to actually start with a box.
What do we get in this box?
What do you get? You get you got 3 books, right? You get like a little monster manual, Boo's Astral Menagerie. Hey, Boo. And these are smaller books. They're not very big.
Nope.
So you got 64 pages of essentially a monster manual, very neatly organized from the looks of it. According to species, there's some new player races in this, and you get to see those represented as well with monster stats.
The very first piece of artwork is an astral killer hamster.
That's Boo.
Hamster, yeah.
That's Boo, huh?
So that's
Space hamster.
Space hamster. Okay.
He's
Cool.
He was from the race of the giant hamsters, and I think there was some experiments done on him and maybe a couple others that shrunk him
kind of
down.
like rocket raccoon type thing. So I don't know if you could
Hold
see
it
this
lower.
lower.
Yeah, cover your face.
No, you're good.
This is I'm waiting for the past me to. Oh yeah, you get a great shot at the artwork here on that with the glare and everything. But the artwork is beautiful. Initially, the first thing I notice about this is that the pages, I think, are a heavier gauge
Yeah.
than they were previously,
They got
and
it's got a
other-
little meat to it.
which is nice because being gamers and everything, that
They tear
They
easy.
can be delicate.
you're going to be using this a lot. I'm happy to see that the Yazirians from Star Frontiers were recycled into the Hodozi. And
Mike suggested I get one of my claymores so you can open up your box.
I'll lose a hand.
I think it's funny that Mike remembers that I have several claymores.
The
Caught
sword,
your eye.
not the explosive.
Yes, the large
Those-
piece of steel.
So the Hodozi, I think, are pretty cool. They're pretty true to the Yazirians of Star Frontiers, almost exactly as far as like looks go. They can glide as they had in Star Frontiers. There's no rage ability here. though,
Is it just
unfortunately.
me, or is the font just a touch bigger?
It is.
It is, and
I
thank
was
you.
wondering if that was that, or if I just cleaned
Thank
my
you for that.
glasses.
Let me see.
I think
can't.
the font is like one step larger.
Yeah, and it's still not big enough. I can't see it without my glasses, but nice monsters here.
I like the artwork too. It's
and the artwork. Yeah,
it's clean.
It's really. It reminds me of a lot of the older editions. I'm a big fan of the older editions artwork. The Elmore and the Easley era of art. But this is great, and it's got space clowns. So how can you argue with that, right?
Joseph, you got yours on Saturday? How'd you get yours so early? Scott had to wait forever
I had
with
mine
Amazon Prime.
last Tuesday or Wednesday.
That's Tuesday. Oh, well, it's
The 6th.
Scott, when did we get ours?
Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday afternoon.
And you guys railed on me when I was railing on Amazon. Oh, it's just, I love it when it comes around.
Well, you know what?
Let's just stay with this one book for now. Then we'll do a couple of our announcements. Then we'll move on to the next book.
Oh,
back
there
and
you
forth.
go.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. It's not how we planned it, but
Hey, there's an outline.
we're keeping it organic, I guess. Right?
Well, he's the boss. If the producer makes changes, well,
I want to point out how polite Lewis was.
there's
And,
witnesses.
and that's why there's witnesses, right? He's not normally this polite when it's not a live.
We're gonna have
anything.
a talk off air.
See, now I'm in trouble. So, Boo's Astral Menagerie, a nice book. Light. It's only got 64 pages in it, but you know what? It's some quality stuff. So
For the price for all 3 books, I think that was pretty good.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you because I think you put all 3 of these books together.
For $40?
Well, for $40, but it was originally retailing at like 70 something, and that was way too much.
I think so. But did you jump on it?
Did I jump? Yeah, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. But at the $42 price, well worth it.
Yeah.
I think for 3 books, because you just don't get the 3 books. But we'll get to the best part later, right, Bill?
The best part.
We'll get to the best part later. Moving on. Do we want to do an announcement?
Let's start it off.
Well, the first thing is that we've been doing a lot of talking, and we're really going to be streamlining our processes a lot. We're going to be making a few changes moving forward that I think are all for the better, right? And perhaps the biggest one is that at the end of September, we're going to stop with our Wednesday drops of short content for the foreseeable future.
Don't get upset. Necessary evil. You'll hear why.
Yeah, there's we want to concentrate on quality over quantity.
Yes.
So doing this for 2 years and some change, we figured we need to put the focus on quality instead of churning out episodes. And what really got us to thinking about that is we took on another editor, Frank Wieden, very exotic gentleman who is a fine editor, and you hear his work on our actual play, which drops every first and third Tuesday of the month. But Frank has worked a miracle in that we sound good and we sound competent, and I dare say professional more often than not, which is no small feat. It's akin to like walking on water and or turning water to wine, which, when he gets around to doing that, like, it's a big game changer.
I don't know
So
how
hopefully
he
he'll-
possibly do the mixes to get rid of all the profanities I used. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
But it's so we started thinking, that's a really quality job that he's doing. We should kind of elevate our, the quality of the product that we put out. So we won't be putting out as much but we're hoping to elevate the quality, especially during this like transitional period of 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people or realize the amount of time that goes into editing.
Oh, I'm sure most people don't. The few people out there that are
There's a lot.
podcasters and stuff, they understand because they have to do it too.
I didn't.
Not until you got.
Lou gave us homework.
Yeah, I didn't have any I figured, you know what's easier than doing instructional stuff? Playing D&D. Anybody can, do that. That's super easy. And everybody we know like has a good time. Sounds like they're having a good time doing it. D20 The Curtain, Fool's Quest, Raven Folly Institute. That's our buddy Matt Fillion's new project. It's really, really cool. I listen to it on a semi-daily basis, but it's neat. So I figured, hey, we should do that, right? We like playing D&D. We haven't been able to play D&D with the pandemic. Now that the pandemic is somewhat under control, and monkeypox is waiting in the background, to take over. But in that interim, we got to play a little D&D, and I'm like, we should record it. It's going to be super easy to get it edited and everything like that. I was wrong. and I'm told that like on a daily basis, you were wrong, like really, really wrong. And I think out of resentment, Lou made me edit something. And
Still not done.
He
It's
made
still
both,
not yet.
He made both of us edit.
It's-
Unfortunately, my internet was down for 2.5 weeks, and I couldn't access the
mine was
file.
working just fine. And I hated everybody I played the game with because I listened to them so much.
Yeah, on average, I think it takes about anywhere from 10 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
I think we already work 40-hour work weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
Only?
minimally.
Yeah.
Minimally. But and this is with like a second editor too. So this is with Frank handling all those and Lou handling our regular stuff. So we wanted to kind of give Frank a little help before he grew to hate us. Which could be any minute now, really. He's already told me he hates the sound of my voice because he listens to it so much. But quality, the focus shifting on, never that it never was on quality, but I feel like we've kind of learned a great deal on our own and through talking to other podcasters and, being YouTube certified. Quality is where we're shifting our focus to like really, really improve the quality of the product we put out.
I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I was actually doing some work.
So, what else is new?
Now, we do drop a lot of the instructional and the shorts and stuff on Wednesdays, and there still will be a fair bit of that mixed in. We're putting together, we have a schedule put together where there'll still be instructional stuff dropped. There'll still be some of the shorter content dropped, but it's not going to be on Wednesday. It's going to be on Tuesdays, on the off weeks when we're not dropping our actual play. So
it'll still be there,
Mm-hmm.
just not twice a week.
Yeah.
Right.
One, every other week.
Yep.
Roughly.
But that's because we have other projects in the pipeline.
We do, and we'll talk about that.
after the next book.
Yeah, yeah. We have some other projects. The Light of Xerxes. How do you do on that one? That sounds pretty
I think
good.
you're pretty close.
Nailed it.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'm sure there's a phonetic spelling in there somewhere.
And this is 64 pages on the button.
I love this book already. Very first page, very piece of artwork. There's dice, and they're not freaking blue.
They're not, and there's only 6 sides.
It's okay. Those are bones. I'll take that. They're not blue.
So again, you have that high quality paper that's really nice. And this is, I'd show you a picture, but we tried that and it's ridiculously small. So crack out your set.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably got it before we did.
We know Joseph did.
And this is nice. This is your adventure. So with the menagerie, the bestiary that you get with Boo's Astral Menagerie, you get the Light of Xerxes, which is
For levels 5 to 8.
yeah,
It's pretty good start off.
what I like about that is it's levels 5 to 8. So this isn't something you have to spend a couple years playing. It's pretty quick. It's something that I think you could probably finish maybe in 10 sessions, maybe squeak it out to 15. Just looking at this, you have I've heard folks say it's a fairly linear adventure, but I mean that's fine, right? As far as introductory adventures to a new campaign setting go, I think linear works, and you can always, especially if you're a seasoned DM, you can always deviate, a little bit and do some side stuff.
I was going to say, linear is always good for your starter DMs.
It is, without a doubt.
One thing I noticed is as you're going through it, to show that it's a bit linear, as it's describing your monster stat blocks are actually embedded in where you need them and when you need them, as opposed to hiding them all in the back of the book and you having to constantly flip back and reference them.
Or having to flip through your monster manual. But the thing I like about the 3 books is you can have multiple books open, and you're not flipping to the back page of the one book, so you can have the area you're working on in your campaign, and if you need, you can open up your Boo's Astral Menagerie and flip to the page that you need. The other thing I like about this, and I don't know what newer players think of this, but as an older player, I like the maps. The maps are simple and old school. They're not fancy at all. There's not a lot of fluff. It's just simple lines, which are really, really nice.
I don't know if I've gotten used to the squares as opposed to the hexes. All the maps are imposed over squares, and I get it. That's the way it is now, but I still miss my hexes.
I kind of forgot about them, the hexes. I got used to the squares.
I haven't forgotten. It's in the same column as I remember Thaco.
Yeah.
Well, I like that.
He doesn't remember his glasses when they're sitting on his forehead.
I've been looking for them all night. I can't find them anywhere.
But Thaco, he remembers that, and he remembers the what you need as a 3rd level fighter to hit armor class 0.
17.
That'd do 17, sir.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, the artwork in here is nice. It's evocative of like science fantasy type stuff. I wouldn't say it's alien, but it's fantastical, which
I like that they didn't overdo it with the artwork in here. There's
just enough. Yeah, there's just enough, and that's nice. It brings me back to a lot of nostalgia. I really want to dig into this book or all of these books for that matter, and kind of see what they're all about. What the contents are, how the campaign lays out, and really dig into the monsters. I'm dying to find some Easter eggs in here, and I hope they stuck a couple of
I'm sure they did.
For us.
They usually do.
Us older folks who've been playing a while.
Taking another sip.
Yeah.
Let's hurry up and go.
Joseph, if your wife keeps yakking in your ear, take the earbuds out, turn on the speaker. I'll yell at her if you want. I won't be the one getting slapped.
or divorced.
Or divorced. I don't know why they call me evil.
Several reasons we won't get into today.
Doom Space. I love the sound of Doom Space.
I just like that, especially the front cover artwork.
Yeah, I think
the artwork, the front cover artwork it certainly does not disappoint.
And I like that the books are not a gloss finish; they're more like of a matte.
it's
finish.
a matte finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very easy to read with that. And I swear the font is just a touch
I'm
bigger.
going to say the same thing.
I
It is.
maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because my glasses are clean. But
No, I think it is, and we appreciate that, Perkins. Thank you very much.
yes.
For doing that.
And the pages are even, I think, like magazine grade almost.
Yeah, they're a much
Yeah.
heavier gauge, I think.
I flipped
is-
to page 53 and it says Space Invaders, and I went, this has nothing to do with the game.
Almost.
And the artwork there is ridiculously good.
That is
Almost
ripping.
National Geographically thick.
Yeah. With all right, I'm going to leave that one alone.
Yeah, oh wow.
You kid,
yeah, just
you kids with the internet will never understand the value of National Geographic.
okay.
Especially the rainforest editions.
If you're under the age of 21, please turn off the speakers for about 15 seconds. Wow.
Yeah.
The pages are much less likely to stick together this way. So it's just, oh, jeez. I tell you, I love these artists they're using. These are just, this cover art on both of them are just absolutely astounding.
Like I said, I'm just glad they're not glossy. It's all
Yep.
matte finished.
I'd love to find a print of those.
Yeah. Next announcement, sir?
Yep. We're finishing the editing of an Acorn's Journey, a DMD story. Almost done, and we're going to begin work on our next actual play. So right now we're in the process of planning, and what that looks like is I'm writing the campaign. I've already got it outlined, and it's well on its way to kind of taking shape. We've got our players lined up. There'll be some old voices. There'll be some new voices that I think you'll enjoy very, very much.
Yep.
And it's a different vibe, a different feel than an Acorn's Journey. That was kind of us testing the waters.
That was also so new to us too, because we
Very
didn't
new.
realize how much of an undertaking just the setup process for that was.
Setup was huge. Thank goodness we had Rhodey Sin with us
Yep.
to crawl under the table and everything.
Is there somewhere you can go to our webpage and actually see a video of the setup, can't you?
It's
I think
Or
it's
do we
on,
take that down?
No, I think it's on here, isn't it? Somewhere?
Facebook. I
Is
thought
it
you
on
put it
Facebook?
up
Yeah,
on
it's on
Yeah, maybe it's on
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah, there's a,
Let me see if I can find a link and then I'll shoot it out.
Yeah, I did a lot of standing around on that, but really I did stuff. It's just that it seems like every time I was on camera,
he
I
pulled
was,
it from the back room, put it in the middle of the table, and goes, "Bill, put this where you want it." And then I made Rhodey Sin crawl into the table and do all the wires for
Yeah,
the
those
speakers.
wires and
Because
stuff.
I'm old, I'm not crawling on the floor.
And
At least not
Rhodey,
much.
Rhodey Sin is too, but he's like 3.5 feet tall.
Mr. Mahaney says it's on Patreon.
Oh, it is. I have it there as well.
It is on
Yeah.
Patreon. How does one go about seeing it then if it's on become a patron. Now you
That's where it is. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
you could become a patron. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money.
No,
$5
we're not greedy.
No.
We're
Or-
wanting, but we're not greedy.
or less. You know, if you want to do a one-time thing to support us, then that's super as well. One of the things that is great about Patreon, and it's kind of like your way to help support content creators like us that are poor. Because if we were wealthy, we probably wouldn't be making a podcast.
Oh, we'd be a little bit more.
We'd be fancier.
We're
Yeah.
kind of cobbled together. But guy, I
Yeah.
don't think people realize the cost behind some of this equipment. It's not even the cost behind the equipment.
Yeah.
It's maintenance, upkeep. Our website's got to be paid yearly.
Yep.
Our Podbean has to be paid yearly.
Our webpage,
our-
the domain names,
domain
the
names.
security on all of those.
Yep.
It adds up. Just the webpage alone is substantial. It's better than half a K a year.
Yeah,
when
so-
you put everything together.
And then
So
when we decided to do Acorn's Journey, we have 3 mics here, but we needed to add, 5 or 6 more?
we need
Yeah.
a total of 7.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we had to have spares because things break.
And then we had to add the boom arms.
we had the boom arms so people weren't constantly banging into them and knocking them over. And then we had that thingy that you had to put at the end of the thing.
The Zeddy,
So that,
Yep.
It's mechanical and it's a box with a lot of lights and switches and stuff. And because it's got a lot of lights and switches, that automatically translates to it's expensive. And
Scott stares at it and goes, "Ooh."
yeah, ooh, look at that.
We
It's,
turn off the lights and he's good for about a half an hour.
it's like being on the set of Star Trek. And
I still can't get the hang of it sometimes.
yeah, and then there's sound effects, and you could get a lot of them free, and Frank is really good about that. But then there's some
That are not.
that are not, and there's licensing that comes with that, and artwork because we had to have artwork commissioned,
Yep.
and
It boils down to if you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, maybe help us out a little bit.
if you can, yeah.
If you can, you
Yeah.
know, just so we're not asking for the world.
I mean, if you want to write big checks, then
yeah,
go
just-
right
oh, no.
ahead.
We're not going to refuse it.
do
Yeah. We'll and we're that's one of the other things too is we're working on a hard launch for our Patreon
Yeah, this is
site.
all soft right now.
Yeah, it's
so
all soft,
it's
yeah,
not
we're-
really pushed. It's not really refined yet.
Yeah.
We still have a lot of work to do in
A
there.
flaccid launch, if you will,
For you.
But see, he's not that nice. You're always saying, "Lay off Lou. Be nice to him."
Needs
He's
a little
really-
blue download.
He's really quite mean. So you can find us over on
Patreon?
Yep.
Oh, Instagram? Twitter? I don't know. What
no, like how do they get to Patreon?
go to www.patreon.com/the DMD.
Yeah. Become a patron.
Got that? I barely heard any of that.
Let me make sure it's correct.
Mr. Chateau wanted to let us know that the font is bigger. He's comparing it right now to the DMG. Well, a couple minutes ago. So I am not as senile as I thought. I am not imagining things. My glasses are indeed clean.
You're still
That's
senile,
that's-
just not as senile as you thought.
Well, yeah, there's that. Yeah. Scott mentioned Star Trek. Dab that on my bingo card. If it was a drinking game, every time Scott mentioned Star Trek, our entire listening audience would be smashed.
yeah, you'd be passed out and pissing yourselves. That's
As opposed to me making inappropriate comments because Lou cuts them all out.
so we don't alienate listeners. That's so we don't alienate all the
I
listeners.
do apologize on a regular
does.
basis, and he cuts those out too
does, yeah.
because it'd sound weird if I was apologizing for nothing.
So what's the story, Lou?
On what?
You were checking to see if it was.
He's still checking.
I'm slow. I can't really move too many pages because if I close my page by accident.
Yeah, we
Shows
don't. We
off.
don't
Just go over to Patreon.
put in the DDMD or the Dungeon Master
And-
Dojo. We will pop up.
And you will find us.
Yeah.
And our lack of organization on this is evidence enough that we need additional funding so we can hire us like a 25-year-old, someone who's like 25 to 30 that doesn't have their head up their ass like we do, that can guide us along all of this technical stuff. So let's call it the intern fund.
The Intern Fund.
Yes.
Mr. Mahaney would prefer to go with the Star Wars as our drinking game as opposed to my inappropriate comments.
I'm in agreement. Let's play the drinking game.
I have to work in the morning.
I don't. I am so going to get shut off again.
All right. We're going to move on to the Astral Adventurers Guide.
Yes.
This is.
Let's do that.
You know what? This is. This has a map. I love the maps.
The hell with that. Look at this Nautiloid on the front cover.
He missed that.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It is.
I want this artwork like on the wall.
Yeah, it is a yet another reason to support us on Patreon, so we can afford pictures on the wall.
Yes.
But yeah, the Nautiloid's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And it looks like something that a crew of illithids would be piloting.
The artwork, I mean, page 6 alone, I thought that was pretty cool. The artwork.
Yeah, this is another 64-page book, so they're pretty much the same size from the looks of it. Yeah, this away team adventuring party is pretty sick. It's awesome. You got your I'm gonna call these things Yazirians forever, but the Hadozi, the Thri-Kreen, the Gif, and is that an Astral Elf?
I think so.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the next page is a Plasmoid, which is
I love
one
playing plasmoids.
which is the one of the newer playable races,
Yep.
and that is pretty cool. Just looking at this, I would certainly have a cafe in some kind of spaceport with like plasmoid dancers. You know, just as
Gives a whole new meaning to pole dance.
not to add like kink or anything weird to the whole thing, but just as like
Quick, define sexual undulation.
yeah, just as like to give the vibe, the flavor, if you will, of the establishment. You know, big fluffy pillows with tassels on it. They don't have chairs. You got to sit on the pillows. There's hookah pipes. There's plasmoid dancers, and you know maybe there's an auto gnome band playing techno. It's got to be techno.
Gotta be techno.
And the kettle drums that they're playing is actually another gnome. Yeah. So just thoughts.
I heard somebody say Star Trek, so I'm pouring you a drink.
The Kindori on the giant like whale with the cottage on its back. Awesome artwork.
Watch the cup.
These books, the artwork here, it's a prime example of inspiring artwork for your campaigns.
Joseph, I like where you're going with that, but I think we'd get in trouble.
What did he say?
He says call it the Hot Blonde Fund. I'm not saying I disagree, although I prefer redheads. But
Don't tell your blonde wife that.
hey, you know,
She probably already knows. Yeah.
she was a redhead at one point. She's an artificial blonde, although all the actual blondes keep sending letters saying, please change your hair color. But giving us a bad name. But she shows up with beer, whiskey, and ice cream sandwiches.
So
So,
that's like, yep.
Yeah, we were recording last night. She came down here as quiet as a mouse.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I was about to say, but then she
They
started.
started handing out ice cream sandwiches.
I do love my beer fairy. She is my beer fairy.
I do too.
I do too.
Especially since she brings like ice cream
I
sandwiches.
have
with
mentioned in the
beer.
past, I'll be sitting there and I'll be working on a project or something, and I'll look down and there'll be a full beer next to me going, my empty one's up. And I didn't hear her come in. I didn't hear her leave, but there's a beer. Sometimes like dinner shows up that way. I mean, just.
Oh yeah, she's brought us snacks down. She brought us some dips and chips.
I have an awesome beer fairy.
Yep, and she's quiet as can be when we're recording.
She does. She comes down those creaky stairs. I don't know how the hell she does
Well, she
it.
weighs like 50 pounds, soaking wet.
Yeah, my dog weighs more than she does.
And she's got creative terms of endearment
Oh.
she uses on me.
I remember what she called you, Pecker Dickface.
No,
Peckerhead
it was
Dickface.
Peckerhead Dickface. I forget what I said, but I think it was worthy
Yeah,
of being called
it usually
Peckerhead
is.
Dickface.
Yes, my wife will expound on colorful metaphors that will make a truck driver and most bikers blush.
That's because she puts multiples together.
She does, and she lives with me, and
creativity.
I am creative as well. So yeah, we work well together.
So you get new races coming in, new playable races. The Astral Elf, the Auto Gnome. The variety of Auto Gnome that they depict in the picture is pretty cool. I feel like players have a lot of agency in creating what their Auto Gnome would look like.
Did you take that out of the book?
I did not. It unfolds without removing. Look what I found in the back of the book.
Oh, mine is stuck in.
Yeah, so is
There's
mine.
another map. Wow,
It unfolds.
It unfolds while it's still connected to the book.
Oh shit!
That's nice.
That is freaking cool.
Oh my God.
You can remove it if you wish. There's this
Yeah.
big honking beautiful map, two-sided.
Was
I
that
might
the
say.
Rock of Brawl? I think.
I think it is.
Yep. Worthy of framing.
Yep.
I would say so.
Rock of
If
Brawl.
you have if you had like a nerd cave or something like that, take it down to Michael's or whatever and throw it up on your wall.
Yeah,
after
there's a
it's
nice
framed.
clean perforation there if you need to.
Yeah. I've only played Spelljammer a couple times back in second edition.
Yep.
That was with like DJ and Paul. I can't wait to try this new
I,
edition.
I can't either. As a fan of Star Trek, everybody drink. Spelljammer is right up my alley. The plasmoids, Thri-kreen.
See, that's what I'm interested because I remember Dark Sun had the Thri-kreen.
Yes.
Joseph just asked that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't the Thri-kreen originally a Dark Sun
Yes,
race?
it was.
Yes, it
It
was.
was. Oddly enough, now I don't know how old you are, Joseph, but we're pretty fucking old.
And I'm older than that.
We had this game Star Frontiers, which had the Vrusk in it, which were very Thri-kreen like.
Esque. Yep.
And the Yserians, of course, were almost carbon copies of the Hadozi, or vice versa. And then there were the Dralocytes, which are very similar to the plasmoids.
Lou, did you hit anything over there? Because my screen has frozen on the video.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Nope, I'm still showing us as being live.
Okay.
Oh,
So
thank,
just do a refresh.
thank goodness.
I just wanted to check.
Okay,
They would have been all disappointed not hearing me go on about
but
the old days.
I do like the Hadozi, in my opinion, is way overpowered movement wise.
Just looking at the Hadozi, their like drop movement rate, the
Yep.
higher up they go, the farther they can like paraglide.
Well, if you really think about it,
Well,
if
that
they
makes
have
sense.
a 30-foot movement, they could
Yep.
run every 5 feet, jump, glide 30 feet, run. That doesn't count as their walking movement speed, so you
Right.
could do another 10, and then
No. Because they have 30 feet of movement. So even though they can glide up to 30 feet, they're using the first 5 feet to get the momentum to glide.
So that
to
would give
30
them
feet.
that would get because if you go 30 feet up, you're gliding 150 feet away.
Yes, but you're not moving. You're just dropping. If
Okay.
you are moving, the first 5 feet
Right.
comes off your 30 feet
Right,
to
so
get the momentum.
now you have
to
25
glide
left.
the remainder. You can still only move 30 feet. Nice try.
Now
Pwned!
the glide is where it's at though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can move 5 feet horizontally for every 1 foot you descend in the air. So if you jump off like say like 100 or 500 foot something, then
Even a 30-foot, if you climb up 30
you
feet,
can get up to like 2,500 feet of movement just by gliding. But on top of that, when you take damage from a fall, you can use your reaction to reduce the fall's damage to 0.
Yep.
So that 500 foot something you fall off of, where maybe something goes wrong, you can use your reaction to
negate it.
negate it.
Yeah,
But you don't move 2,500 feet in one round. You still only move 30.
right. You're still as
But you
You're
without touching the ground,
Yes.
you can move out with your math 2,500 feet, but you're still only moving 30 feet around.
well, no, because it says for every 5 foot of glide you have, you go X amount of feet.
So if you have,
Well, yeah, because you're basically falling as well.
Yeah.
so-
it's way OP.
Because in
Yeah,
D
yeah,
and D, once you fall in D&D,
Right.
you're falling. That's it.
yeah.
That's your movement until the abrupt stop happens.
Which happens supposed to happen that same round, I
Yeah.
believe.
So that's a little.
Oh,
Boy, you think the Aarakocra pissed you off, right? Wait till you start playing with a whole party of these guys.
But what they also did, and I was reading how you build your character. Characters no longer have static bonuses. You can actually move them around.
That's I'm
You're torn.
I like that. I'm torn. I like that. But I like the old way, and I don't know why I like the old way. Maybe it's just because that's the way that I grew up on, and I'm kind of mired in that old way of thinking that, you know, this is an elf, this is a dwarf, and there's certain characteristics that they all have, but that's unreasonable.
It is, because
and
if you think about like our homebrew world, our dwarves are not the same as the Faerun dwarves.
Not at all.
So their stats have been placed differently. Our dwarves are more, I would say, lumberjacks.
Yeah, they're taller.
Yeah,
too.
So they
They're
don't get the same stat bumps as a mountain dwarf,
right.
which is going to be removed from the game, I believe.
Yeah, after speaking with Lou, I understand a dwarf is a dwarf is a dwarf.
Yep.
If you happen to be a dwarf that lives in the mountain, you're still a dwarf. You just live in a mountain, or you're still a dwarf that happens to have a house in the hills,
Yep.
or whatever have you. And that makes perfect sense to me. I still like the old way better
In some ways,
because that's just the way that we did it,
Star Trek.
and we liked it.
Yeah, we liked it.
Take a drink.
But it makes perfect
I gotta
sense
stop
where they're
drinking
going
in between
with it.
Star Trek references.
That's two you got to take, Scott.
So they go on to astral adventuring. I'm going to catch up with you guys in a minute. But you get, not only do you get some great artwork on Spelljammer vessels, but you also get some nice, clean, neat layouts of the Spelljammer vessels.
They did it. They did this. I think they did this one right.
Which reminds me of the stuff from the Spelljammers box set back in second edition. A lot of the layouts were very similar. A lot of the images of the ships were very similar. Just clean black lines on a white background, which makes it just easier to kind of, you know, see what the ships kind of look like on the interior.
And they break it down each ship by level. So, like, I'm looking at the squid ship. You got your forecastle map,
Yep.
your stern castle, your main deck, and then your cargo, all laid out for you, nice and neat.
Yep.
And that's not to say you can't change these. These are just guidelines.
On a ship,
Well, you can.
so much.
I'm saying you can have an altered ship, so it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Not every ship's the same.
Yeah, I mean, you can lose some levels and some,
Yeah.
you know, or some
Oh,
levels, but
And a lot of these things, I don't know if, you know, how many folks have played Spelljammer, but the Spelljammer ships back in the day were, they were kind of a mix of like magical tech and like biological creature, right? So they were actually living things in a lot of cases.
yep.
Page 36, living ship.
Yeah, and that makes it. I don't know if, what was it? There was one. Was it Lex or was it Lex or?
I'm not sure. I only played Spelljammer a few times.
Well, I'm talking. The Sci-Fi Channel had this show Lex on it.
Yeah, it was Lex,
Which
but
I think-
that was a spinoff of Farscape.
No, Farscape was something different.
Farscape was something different, but yeah, there
It
was
was adventures in the fourth dimension or some zone or something
Yeah,
like
but it was
that
Lex.
is what Lex was the spinoff of.
Yeah.
But Farscape, I don't know if it was Lex or Farscape that had the biological ship.
That
or
was
maybe
Farscape.
they both did. Yeah,
I
and
don't
that
know
was
about Lex, but Farscape had the living ship.
so that kind of gives me
Oh yeah,
and Aaron's son. I had the biggest
Yeah,
crush
who-
on her. I don't
who
know
did
what it
not?
was. She was uncharacteristically attractive. She had this nose, right? And
it was
the
a
nose,
Greek nose.
yes, and it wasn't like she was a non-traditional beauty.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Grey was. You know, Jennifer Grey had that nose, and once she
Yep.
got it fixed, lost all of her appeal.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's very nice, and I hope she's not listening and was like, you know, screw you guys.
she's not listening.
Yeah, she's not.
but
Neither is.
but still, when Aaron Gray came out in that spandex outfit, oh my god.
Well, no, Aaron Gray was Buck Rogers.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
and
yes.
she came out in this.
In the spandex outfit.
I'm
Looked
sorry,
like
that
was
we
going
said
to
Aaron
explode.
Gray.
Yep.
Aaron's son was the
Okay. yeah, I know, but I thought
the
you
one-
said.
He
I
did
thought
say
you
Aaron
had
Gray.
You just said Aaron Gray.
whatever. Aaron's son was
Remember, I'm older. I remember
was
that.
was the character in Farscape.
Yes,
She had the black spandex on.
it was mostly leather.
Maybe that's what it was. Either way,
Not that I was paying that much attention.
Erin Gray was not an uncharacteristically beautiful woman.
Oh, no,
she
was stunning.
She was the letter of traditional views of what gorgeous was.
She was so hot,
Yeah.
I'd do her corpse.
We can't edit that out. But necrophilia aside, the ship layout, absolutely beautiful. It reminds me of the old days of 2 and 2.5.
It does.
Yeah.
And which I appreciate very much, because as much as D&D, obviously, in Wizards of the Coast, are trying very hard to make the game accessible to everyone. Right? And
Yeah, they're trying to make everyone happy at the same time.
right. So can
Pissing
you
me
relate
right
to the
off.
game? And, who we want, the more people are involved in the hobby, the longer the hobby lives. So that's always a good
Absolutely.
thing. But I think they pay a tremendous amount of respect for a lot of the gamers that have been with the game for a long time by including just little stuff like this. It's not a huge thing, but little stuff like this, these little Easter eggs and these little bits of nostalgia,
Making
bravo.
the font bigger.
Yeah, making the font bigger, certainly. Actually, they could go up another like 6 or 7 sizes maybe, and
I'm astonished that I noticed.
I am too.
Well, I'll miss the elephant in the room, but I'll see the mouse in the corner. I'm great at seeing details. Yeah, the broad strokes, not so much.
So you have enough Spelljammer vessels here to start your game,
Thank you,
right?
Joseph.
And get an idea of what these ships look like. And for creative players and DMs, certainly you can design your own. And certainly we encourage you to do so. Now, another announcement is we've streamlined the offerings in our DMD Wear shop that you can access via our website, www.thedungeonmastersdojo.com. So go check that out. One of the biggest ways that you could support the Dungeon Masters Dojo is by rocking some of our logo wear, and so people ask about it. Drink your morning coffee out of a DMD mug, or
Did you guys notice I put a Dungeon Masters Dojo .com banner in the back of my truck?
yes,
I actually had someone pull up behind me about a week ago and had their phone out and was taking a picture of the back of my truck, because I have a bunch of D&D logos, the old, the new, the Enchant with the dragon and stuff. I have them all in the back of my truck, and they were taking a picture of it. I see them in the mirror. I was like, that is cool shit.
yeah.
I don't know if they went to the webpage, but
We don't have
I hope
those
so.
available on our website
do
yet,
not
but now
yet.
that Bill has mentioned it, now that means I have to go figure out how to do that. So thanks, Bill.
I'm
I'm not busy enough.
I will. No, that's okay. Lou doesn't give you nearly as much work.
So go on there, grab a couple of our websites. We've pared down the colors. It's all black now. And you know what? As gamers, honestly, guys, black is slimming.
Just
So-
like the flag right over his head.
So you're welcome. Yes. I'm barely noticeable behind this black background here.
Yeah, you think that. Oh, God, I love soundboards.
And in January of next year, beginning January 1, we're stopping our monthly blog. We drop a blog on the third Friday
Yeah.
of every month. We're going to stop that. And the reason we're going to stop that is because we want to make room for episode transcripts, particularly now that we're going to be doing some more actual play, which has been a lot of fun. After 2 years of not sitting at a gaming table and gaming with people. Granted, every Wednesday night there's an online game, which I guess is fun, but I can never make it. But we've played online several times with our friend Huge Rod, play testing his hybrid gaming system,
Yep.
which is awesome. And I wish he'd hurry up and run a Kickstarter for it so that I could dump a bunch of money in there.
We've played several online games with
Scott Legault.
Scott Legault.
Yep.
Which has been great.
And Jerome from D20 to Curtain played
Joined
with
us,
us
Yep.
on that one, and Aaron from Level Up Your Gaming podcast, and it was Lou and Bill and me, and then Scott Legault from Rising Phoenix Game Con,
Thought we had somebody else.
Dark Phoenix events. Oh,
Dave Wild.
Dave Wild.
Dave
from,
Wild,
Retro RPG reviews, and
Yep.
that was huge fun. So we've done it online, and online is great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I had a blast. There's
It's
no way.
not the same thing.
It's not. But, realistically, there's no way we could have played with Jerome and Aaron and Scott and Dave in person unless it was, this massive road trip or we just happened to all bump into each other.
At Gen Con.
Yeah. So that's cool. But it was nice to be able to sit around at a table with your buddies and just play D&D, because really there's no substitute for it. And that was we all became friends because of our love of the game, right? So
Right.
it was
Well, I mean, there's something to be said. I mean, it's nice to be able to still game online, but you see the facial expressions and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But to be sitting at a table with people, there's a body language that you can't read online.
there is.
The fidgeting, the hands, the facial expressions, everything added together. It's a whole different dynamic in person as opposed to online. But thank God online still helped drive the hobby. A lot of people would not have played D&D at all without it. And kudos to it. I get it. I play it. I enjoy it. It is not my favorite.
Yeah, but Bill's there every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I am there every Wednesday night. At least I try.
You try to.
I missed a couple of weeks because I didn't have internet for
And
fucking 2.5
I've
weeks.
been out because usually we've been going away from Wednesday to Sunday.
Yep.
Or depending on when. Or if I'm leaving Thursday, I use Wednesday for editing because I don't have time to edit when I come back.
I mean, but still, we still get together. It would be nice if there was another.
These
person
guys are these guys are travel agents for guilt trips, and I would make it if I wasn't writing blogs, writing campaigns, building terrain, writing episode outlines, and apparently now editing. So I have a lengthy list of stuff, and Lou. I'll be honest with you, Lou's a wonderful guy, and I love Lou to death, but he's a fucking tyrant, and he pays shit. All right, so
I don't have nothing to say. Except we'll take this off the air.
well, you can't. It's live. So there's that. That's part of streamlining the process. It was really, really good to get together with the guys and just roll some dice and have a good time. And we got to record it too, and it was I gotta say it was surprising. It was surprising because I think Rhodey Sin was our sleeper.
Yes.
Right? Because Rhodey Sin and Sin has been with our gaming group for a long, it's like 13 or 14 years now, something like that. It's a long time.
Yep.
And, great guy. I mean, heart of gold, fun to play with, absolutely nuts. But sounds really good on mic. Because I remember the first time I heard him on mic, and I was like, holy shit.
And not only that, he's just so
Sin sounds
unpredictable.
good. And he's unpredictable. I often describe him as the Gary Busey of our group. Like, he'll come out and he'll say things where you're like, oh my goodness. And
More so than me.
yeah, it gives you, you got to take a little bit of time to think about what was said to kind of get an idea for what the meaning was. And we're like, after a while, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, my tolerance is not that high sometimes.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, Rhodey Sin sounds great, hysterical,
Yep.
really said and does some funny shit.
Yep.
And I don't realize it, I guess, in the moment until like I listen to, the edited version, and I'm like,
That's Frank's work.
that's Frank's. Is like he's funny.
Well, he makes us sound good, which is
Which-
astonishing.
yeah,
so
he
there
does.
should be no surprise that he
Um,
makes Sin sound good as
and
well.
and Ben,
Yep.
who we've only played with like a little bit.
He's been with us for what?
Ben,
3-4 years?
no,
probably?
closer to 5.
5?
Has
And
it been that
Ben
long?
has an amazing voice on
Yes, he
mic.
does.
He does.
He has a
does.
great voice.
So we're hoping to get some more people. Like you may have noticed, but none of us did like the intro
No.
to an Acorn's Journey because
No, we have not.
We don't sound that good. But that's our friend Nova, who is awesome. I've known her for a long period of time.
I think she's in the works for our next project, though.
I think so. Yeah.
She's on the docket.
It's a funny story. We wrapped recording
NDA.
and I can talk about this. Isn't in the NDA.
Okay.
Me and Bill are on our way back because I carpooled with Bill, and I was gonna do like the intro to an Acorn's Journey, and then I was thinking, I said like, Bill,
He thinks out loud.
I do, which disrupts everybody, in like during a quiet dinner or something like that.
Except when
And
he's
they're
in the
like, "What
shower,
hell is-"
where he does most of his thinking.
I do quality
which we
thinking
hear
in
about.
the shower.
Thank
yeah.
God, not in detail.
And I said, "Hey, I got a great idea." And Bill rolled his eyes, like, I mean, kind of a dick move, but he does that all the time, so I'm used to
because
it.
you have a lot of great ideas.
I do. I said, I got the perfect person to read the intro for it. And she's awesome, and I've known her a long time. I love her to death, and I'm very fond of her. But that's not the only reason, because she sounds great. And he said, "Oh, okay." I said, "I'm going to call her." He's like, "Right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not driving. You're driving, so I can call." So
No, wait a minute. She actually had a TikTok account,
she does,
and
she
you
does
showed me a
TikTok.
TikTok. I'm like, she does have a very
She
nice
does.
voice.
So let me. You guys should like check her out. She's actually, I think people like her way more than they like us, and I don't blame them. I like her way more. Than
I like her
us
way,
too.
way more.
I'm not. I muted myself. God damn it.
Let's see.
What are you looking for? A TikTok name?
Yeah, it's like Finding Nova.
Finding.nova.
Finding.nova. So check her out. That's good because I got a lot of stuff that was not her when I Googled it. So
Scott, you're a personal friend, and yet Lou knew it immediately.
yeah, I just know that when I go on my phone and I look at her TikTok videos, that's where it is. But Finding Nova. So I sent her a text, and I said, "Hey, I got a question," and she's like, "Hi, sure. What's up?" And I said, "Have you ever done any role playing?" And then, it sounded like a valid question when I put it out there, and because right, I mean and then
he got the slow.
yeah, Bill's like, "What did she say?" I said, "I don't know. She hasn't responded yet. They haven't responded yet."
Did you want to reword that?
He said, "Well, what did you say?" I said, I asked them if they've ever done any role playing, and he just shook his head, and I'm like, "What?" And he said, "Really?" And I'm like, "Oh shit." So I typed, I said, "Like Dungeons and Dragons."
And he was
Yeah.
flush from
Yeah, I was like,
tip of
"Shit,
his bald head,
boy, I screwed that
his
one up."
ears to
So
his neck, bright red.
I laid it all out for her, so she didn't think I was like I was
Perving.
screwed. But fortunately, I've known her a really long time, and she agreed to do it. I think that's awesome. So you'll get to meet her, or I'm sorry, you'll get to meet them at the at our next adventure, and there is a another young lady who's going to be joining us for the second installment of our next adventure. Our
Same
next
project,
actual-
second half.
Same
project.
project. Part deux, as they say in France.
They say do, not duh.
Duh.
Homer Simpson says duh.
It works. At any rate, for the second part, and she's a gamer, and
A relatively new gamer.
a relatively new gamer for tabletop,
For tabletop.
but kind of a badass gamer.
Dead by Daylight.
On online with Dead by Daylight. She's awesome, and I love her to death too. I've known her for a long time. Her name's Chelsea. I want you guys to meet her too. She's fantastic.
Yes, this group of old, crotchety, misogynistic bastards have managed to find some female voices to make us not as misogynistic.
Yeah, you
It's
got to
not
have
that-
somebody
it's not
keep
that
you in
we are.
line, right?
We came up in D&D just like a lot of the older people,
Yeah.
where it was a whole bunch of dudes.
It was a sausage fest. I
Yeah,
mean, let's be honest.
yeah.
It was a bunch of like fat white guys with neck beards.
When you went to a convention, you went, "Holy shit, that's a girl!"
Yeah, what's she doing? She must be lost.
Yeah, she's got to be with her boyfriend. She
yeah.
looks pissed. Yeah, she's with her boyfriend.
Yeah, conventions in the old days,
We're different.
they were different. They smelled like farts and armpits, and it was gross.
There's so much testosterone, but a lot of the paint was peeling off the wall.
There wasn't enough testosterone in a lot of cases, but it's a very different kind of environment now, which is awesome. And it's cool to have young people that are interested in joining you, because both Nova and Chelsea are pretty young. I mean, granted, everybody's young compared to us, but young people bring an energy and a totally different perspective,
Absolutely.
which is awesome, because if you've been doing this as long as we have, we're set in our ways. And
Oh no, I'm as progressive as you could possibly be.
yeah, discomfort stimulates change, right? So
Well, I guess I stimulate a lot of change.
how do we get better at what we're doing? Well, we introduce some folks that have different mindsets and are, have that relevant thought processor in tune with, the way things are. And that's the best way.
The
best way
DMD
to
is
do it.
progressive.
We're trying.
Do you hear that?
What's that?
Finish your drink. That's what they're saying.
This is peer pressure, and peer pressure is inappropriate.
Finish your drink.
But it's
Finish
but
your
it's good.
drink.
So moving on to the next thing in this box set, I got to tell you
Can't wait
that
for him to finish his drink.
the box. My God,
We're gonna sit there and stare at you until you do.
the box set.
Yeah.
This box set is the way I want to see everything done by Wizards of the Coast. Like they care what my opinion is.
Before we go on to the next piece, we got to refill the cups.
No, this is enough. I got to work.
You got one more.
Just a little one.
Hit me.
And this is great. I like this new style of box set very much.
I
but
say it's huge. It's weighty. The box is gorgeous. The artwork is gorgeous. There is one small little thing that I might have an issue with.
there's no psionics in this. Really, look at this bad boy.
I have
This
more
is-
than one pet peeve.
This is a DM screen, which is a wonderful organizer for the notes you're going to need to know.
I like the ampersand on the corner right here.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice. It's shiny. It's silver.
Wait a moment. Allow me to take a look. Oh darn! Mine must be broken. I can't possibly open it.
You know how we said like set in our ways and everything like that? That's exactly
Mine
what
was
we're
broken.
talking about. It wasn't broken. I'm going to put this away because I'm going to bust this bad boy out. And
Oh yeah, we all know you're a screener.
But I mean, yes, he isn't. But it is. It's very well put together.
it's nice. It's a good dense, like MDF. MDF?
I would say not MDF, but compressed cardboard.
Yeah. It's
But
nice.
It doesn't have what Bill thinks in here, though. None at all.
And what do you think? I think it's in
It
there.
has the astral plane, just
Yep.
a picture of the astral plane, the air and gravity. Talks about suffocating weightlessness, astral encounters, ship to ship starting distances.
It's good stuff.
It's not your typical screen stuff. This is
Well, I mean, a lot of screens have the same type of stuff. It's stuff that DMs would know. I have a custom screen because I forget everything now, so I have to like know who is who, and this is like a roadmap,
But
right?
this has-
But see, you gentlemen forget why I don't like screens.
well, you don't have to have it up. You can just look at it and put it back down.
It's not
'Cause you're a
because of
bitchy
the
old man.
information that's. Well, yeah, there's that.
Well, all right.
It's not because of the information that's on it. It's because of the information it obscures.
Yeah, but again, this. Oh, I just need a shipping counter. Okay, put it down.
What information does it obscure?
There-
The dice rolls. Everybody knows my dice roll shit.
Yeah, we know.
But that's your dice rolls.
Yeah.
Mine, on the other hand, are not.
I like to bring a sense of organization to my game. I need
You do.
because I have a lot of stuff that's going on, and
There you go.
that's why I have
Most of which I commit to memory. I will forget what my wife told me 5 minutes ago, but I will remember anything D&D related.
Yeah, I mean it's in one ear and out the other for me. Just ask anybody that's been in a
You can
long-term
almost hear
relationship with
the
me.
ricochet.
I do like the artwork on it, though.
Hold it up for me.
The whales.
It's nice.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
something? That is actually there's finally a use for a DM screen.
It actually reminds me of Lost in Space with those two there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
I've got something I'm working on that's not quite a GM screen, but something similar. Wait, listen, you're gonna like this. I'm not gonna tell you
what
about
could
it now.
possibly be similar to a GM screen that's not a GM screen? You could have a banner over your head
Not
with
over,
like neon lights and stuff.
not over my head.
Awesomosity, awesomosity,
No,
awesomosity,
dude. Everybody
awesomosity.
knows anyway. I don't have to do that. It's a piece of
Thank you, Lou.
It's a piece of terrain
You're welcome.
that's going to pay massive dividends as far as like the immersion goes, and there'll be pictures when it happens. But I'm working on it now. I'm researching how to accomplish that. Not a DM screen, but it's going to
Obscure your roles.
it's going to provide you'll wait and see.
My character is going to damage it.
Nobody questions my rolls except when they're high. But every once in a while that happens. It's true.
Everyone waits in anticipation when I pick up those 2 yellow dice. And I
Yep.
cast them out in front of the table for everyone to see because it becomes a momentous moment.
It does not. It's like watching an episode of Game of Thrones. Like who's getting dead or maimed. It's not even like a nice death. It's not like Boromir dying at the hands of all those orcs in an epic fashion. It's getting killed on the shitter or poisoned at your wedding or stabbed to death at your wedding
They did name my table the Mamatorium.
or devoured by hungry dogs or any number of terrible Game of Thrones deaths. It's not nice. It's
it's dice
medieval.
rolls.
But those would have been epic moments at the game table. You got to have to admit it.
People losing limbs and stuff. I mean, it's
We
epic.
have that
if
happening now.
it's epic if it's not your limb.
I've lost ears.
You've lost part of an ear. That's different. It's not the whole ear. And
That actually was the whole ear.
just grow your hair out.
Andrew
fine.
lost a whole arm or half
Yes,
an
it
arm.
was.
That's noticeable, right? You can't
Just
grow your
above
hair
the
long
elbow.
to-
Not even a clean break. Just above
And
the
he also had his head stomped in.
Yes, he did.
He did, and yet he still shows up.
Yep.
The character had
What's-
his head stopped.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Andrew's fine. Everybody, he's fine. He's still got both
I
his
felt
arms.
like I needed to clarify that.
His head is fine
Oh my God!
for the most part.
Yeah, that was on at my
Chelsea
game week.
Wallace.
Yep.
Hello, gentlemen.
That's our Chelsea.
That's
That's
our
our
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
That is the cerulean-haired beauty that I've been talking about.
Hello, sweetheart.
That plays at what? Blue Tundra Gaming?
Blue Tundra Gaming.
Yep.
She's like
Dead by Daylight.
she's a
champ.
big old badass. When
Thank you for joining us, sweetheart.
My
Yes.
daughter watched her a couple times. She plays Dead by Daylight as well.
Chelsea plays video games way better than I do. way better than I do. Yeah, you've played with me before. I'm a hot mess.
We'll be playing something. I'll be like, come on, Scott, let's go.
I'm a sweaty button masher. I'm like, oh wait, I was getting a snack.
Not only is he colorblind, but I think he's partially dyslexic because the A and B keeps switching and the red and blue keep switching. So.
It's tragic. It's a hot mess.
Did I win?
Yeah, it's when we play. Good Lord, it's like. But yeah, she's way more competent. I can't wait to.
She says, "Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to get her at the gaming table. It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be awesome."
We're going to start recording that in March.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a busy recording schedule with February. Yep. We're doing our new trilogy. Come on, I can talk about the trilogy. I'm not going to talk about anything else.
Okay.
NDA. Let's build a little excitement, Lewis.
Star Trek. Drink.
So February, we're going away for a week. We're gonna film. See, this is what happens. We're going to
drink.
We're going to record the first of the trilogy we're doing. And then in March,
it's going to be a jewel. That's all I can say.
It's gonna be a jewel. And then in March we begin recording the second installment, and then the following March afterwards, the third installment. And we've got some.
And this is why we some changes to our schedule. Because of all these recordings and edits that's going to be happening.
It's going to be a lot of editing, so we have to like sit down and look at what our editing schedule looks like now and how it can be better.
Yep.
And there was a lot of discussion about that, which is why the processes are being streamlined and why there's changes. But change is necessary to.
I look at it this way. There's going to be a little bit more live playing. While still having the off stuff that we normally do, still dropping in between. It will make it easier for Frank and I and you guys to edit because we're not all now sharing
right
in that endeavor.
Because when you look at it, there's the staff is 4 people.
Yep.
The players at the table. As invested as they are, I'll tell you, Ben and Sin and those guys were. I mean, they were
amazing.
They were invested.
And unfortunately, Marcus couldn't make it,
which is a shame. But Marcus was in the prequel, the Battle of Birch Grove,
which is on Patreon, and I'm going to be editing the 5th and final episode for that soon.
And Marcus is coming back to join us for the next. Actual play, which is exciting because Marcus is fantastic as well.
Yep,
it's like changing a tire.
I have AAA. I just make a phone call.
Same here.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like.
This is why Sky every time something's broken. Bill, can you come over and fix this for me?
Yeah, that way I don't try to do it myself and break it worse,
or hurt yourself,
or hurt myself.
I'm worried about you hurting yourself.
I'm fragile.
Where?
Everywhere. I totally forgot what we were talking about.
Me too.
We were talking about the actual play, but there's a lot involved. The big reason why, if you remember, the big reason why we started a podcast was because we could no longer play D&D.
We couldn't game, and we were. Go ahead, start. We were sitting at our week long.
We're sitting at our week long, much like we are now. Holding a beverage, much like we are now.
But you're just holding it; you're not drinking.
And I was an inebriate that day, and I said, "Hey, it would be awesome if we did a podcast because there's people that do that."
Did you start off with YouTube first?
I started off with YouTube, and I was like, nobody wants to look at me. I was like, I have a face for radio, but I certainly don't have one for YouTube. So
it's actually astonishing we're doing this.
Yeah, so this is sorry guys, we're not as handsome as we sound. But we decided to do a podcast, and it was kind of like a hey, let's bounce the idea around, but then like the pandemic got serious and we really couldn't play. We had to tell everybody we can't do our Monday night game anymore, which was hard. It
wasn't just hard. I have had a running gaming table every week at my house since 1978.
Yeah, I mean that's a long time ago for those of you that are young. And it was a hard thing to do, not just because it was going on for a long time, but now that was the excuse to see all of our friends. There was a large group of us that gathered every Monday night, and now everybody's gone. And I don't know about you guys, but I was worried. I was like, geez, this last February, maybe realistically, because we knew nothing about COVID-19. Last February may have been the last time I see, some of my, dear and close friends. So that thought was upsetting, but we were like, hey, let's do a podcast, just the three of us, so we could stay connected and do something D&D or gaming related. So that's what we did. But now that it's I don't want to downplay, COVID, but it's not as severe as it was. There's not as much uncertainty as there was.
Or hysteria.
Yeah, because we didn't, we
just didn't know.
We didn't know anything, right? I mean, remember when AIDS first came out and you're like, I can't share like a drink with someone because I could get the AIDS or mosquitoes
I need
or something
to put
like that.
A half a roll of toilet paper on the toilet seat when I go in the public
bathroom. Yeah, because I
could
catch AIDS. It was very similar to that back in the 80s.
Yep.
And but now it's
remember the 80s.
Yeah, for those of us that were around. But we now it's a little bit better. So we're like, let's have a go at playing some D&D. So we did, and we're like, let's record it and see if people like it, and then we'll continue doing that. Because really what we want to do is play the game. It's fun to talk about it, but it's way more fun to play it.
It's way more fun, but at least we're doing something D&D-ish. Gaming-ish. TTRG-ish.
Yeah, staying involved in the hobby and keeping it, it was a good excuse to see Bill and Lewis on a weekly basis.
I think that was my selfish reason for wanting to do this, was just to, hey,
and it was very, very selfish on everybody's part.
All three of us, absolutely.
And that's the biggest reason why we did the actual play. I'm like, well, Jerome can do it, right? Why can't we? And I don't sound as good as Jerome.
Nobody sounds as good as Jerome.
Or any of the guys from Fool's Quest
or Red Dirt D&D,
or Red Dirt D&D, or any of those other guys that sound way better than us.
But hey, if you throw enough things at the wall, something might stick.
Something might stick, and hopefully we stuck. We splattered enough to stick. Hopefully.
That didn't even sound right, Scott.
Well, you know what? When you're talking about shit sticking to the wall, nothing's going to sound good.
Yeah, there's just a giant splat.
Yeah, I think we did everything.
You didn't finish your last drink.
Finish my last drink.
Hey, there's an outline.
And then call Uber. I hope my boss isn't watching. I may have to call out.
If you call out, he knows why.
Well, it's a she.
We're going to be here for a little while.
Yeah, there's no way she's watching. Girls don't watch this stuff.
Well,
Chelsea's
Chelsea
here.
is. Chelsea is. I said to her, Chelsea, you're the starlight in our evening respite.
That's poetic. Some would dare say it's romantical.
Or just damn ass creepy.
That too. I was trying to avoid that, but yeah.
No, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
because
I mean, you're at that age where you can say things that
I am waiting for the magical moment where I can say virtually anything to a cute girl.
You're waiting, huh? Yeah, okay.
And they go, "Oh, he's just a cute old man."
Yeah, you're there.
Right now, he's just a cute
I still
old
get
drunk
dragged.
man.
I still get dragged into HR, and
even HR goes, he's just a cute old man.
yeah.
That's right. Scott is the youngest of the old guys here.
I am. The
He's
youngest.
the kid.
Yep.
I'm the scrappy youngster in the old guys group.
And he's not even that scrappy.
No, Yeah. No.
So do we have anything else to go over?
I don't think we have anything else to go out. Go out and buy that Spelljammer Adventures in Space set.
I think it's well worth
pretty
it,
cool.
honestly.
At like $40-something, it's worth it.
Yeah.
You know, at 70-something,
No.
I would say, I don't think so. But
But you did sign up for it at $70-something.
I sure as hell did, and I got it for 40, and I was like, phew.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was pretty glad too. You buy all mine.
My inner cheap was like, oh, I don't know, but and then
Well,
it was,
I didn't realize the books. I mean, yes, they are thin. They're 64 pages a piece. I didn't realize that in the beginning. They didn't tell you that.
it is, but it makes up for it,
It does.
in the quality of the books. Yeah, 64 pages isn't a lot, but it's enough to jumpstart your Spelljammer
Exactly, yeah.
adventures, and that's good. And there is a wild space worth of opportunity
Yes.
for adventuring, gaming,
Agreed.
and exploration, and whatever have you. So I encourage you to go out. This is my favorite one.
I just checked the outline and we covered everything.
Yeah. When Scott said this was his favorite one, I was like, this is the first time he's ever agreed.
Yeah, we both looked at him and went,
100%.
"What?"
There's nothing he did not like.
Nothing at all.
So if Scott says that, then
That's kind of
that says something.
it's surprising.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you for enduring us.
It was nice. I'm sorry we're not better looking, but
I don't know about you, but I'm stunning.
we're on the cusp of being cute elderly men, so give it some time. Yeah.
I think
Even
Bill's already,
Joseph said we're cute.
I
Yeah.
think Bill's already there.
Yeah.
I'm right behind Bill. You're a little bit behind
And
me.
next time, guaranteed, we're going to feed Bill Jello.
Shots.
Tapioca. I don't
Tapioca.
like Jello.
You don't like
There'll
Jello?
be
I
shots.
said
you
I
can't
don't.
do-
I do not like Jello.
It's good
Neither
for you.
do I.
There's a lot of like, what is it?
It's
The
made
keratin
out
or
of the
whatever.
horse hooves.
It's good for your hair, Bill.
Remember,
It's
I'm a
good-
butcher.
Yeah.
It's made out of the feet that try
say it's good
through
for his
all
hair,
their
but
own
do you
shit.
see?
They're
He's
good for
not
my
eating-
hair.
he's not
I
eating
don't
enough Jell-O.
need any more hair on my back or chest.
Yeah. Oh, God, other places. This is doing. We should leave now before we get. I don't know. Like they put you in Facebook jail for stuff like this, don't they?
No.
I don't know. I've known some people.
Eh,
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
We're
you
going to
for joining
sign
us.
off before we say anything inappropriate and
So we can have another drink in private.
anything more inappropriate.
I'm gonna have more than one drink, and I'm gonna say a crap load of stuff inappropriate.
Thank you for
Yes, thank you for joining us.
joining us.
And have a good night, everybody.
Thunderwave.
Buttons are being pressed.
I'm still seeing videos.
That's going
Yeah.
to conclude this episode. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Please subscribe to the podcast for more great content. If you'd like to hear a particular topic, you can reach us on Facebook at the Dungeon Masters Dojo. Or you can drop us an email at thedungeonmastersdojo@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a good day. That needs to what? Be edited out that you've been drinking too much?
No. That needs to come with us on every excursion we go on.
They're also listening to you if anybody's there. Have a good night, everybody.
Oh,
We're
good
ending the
night.
show.
Hello.